When most people think crochet, they think grandmas and chunky sweaters, but today I want to show you 9 modern-ish and pretty cool/unique summer projects. Stick around for project 9 because it is my absolute favorite. It is so stunning and might actually make your never-ending project list. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name is Justin. Today's video is all about summer. There's a little bit of everything here, from tops to bags to amigurumis and blankets. If you make it now, you might have been ready for someone who might love it in the winter for Christmas. So with that, grab your hook and your whip and let's get started. So first up is this top by the artist who calls herself Shenda DIY. I've actually made this top in the past and it is so cute and actually really easy to work with. It's the kind of top that is very summery because it kind of has a very open top, but it does provide a lot of coverage down below and some in the back, so it's not just completely exposed. If this top is speaking to you, I would definitely say to use a lightweight yarn that's maybe cotton or cotton blend. It looks adorable. It's actually really well fitted, at least the way that she makes her measurements. It's really easy to fit it to your size. Next up, we have a project that is making its second appearance from my first summer crochet top inspo video. It is the Gemma cardigan from I Am Lanka. I love the pattern genuinely just because it's really easy to work up. The measurements are pretty spot on. I would say I had a little issue only because I don't block my work, and that's definitely something you should be doing. But I do call this a summer cardigan, kind of sun inspired because at least right now I'm making a yellow cardigan, and you know, if you make it yellow, it's sunny. Regardless, the pattern is just so easy to follow and it's really cute. Regardless, this is just one of those patterns that works out really easy, and it could look a little intimidating at first, but you just start to memorize the pattern because it's the same concept throughout the entire cardigan. Now, this third top is the Wisteria top from Spirit and Thread Crochet. Definitely something that gives a bit more cottagecore vibes, but you know, make it yellow and it looks so good for the summer, and really any color does. But I just love the off the shoulder ish look that it has going on for it. The way that she plays around with the stitches and how they kind of go together with the doubles and shells and whatnot, I think they go together really well. Makes it look a little more lightweight, and adding the beads just gives it a little more dimension because you really don't, you know, play with beads that much in your crochet tops, and I just love the feel that looks, especially when you kind of coordinate the bead color with your top well. Now, moving on from tops is this sunflower bag, and I think it's pretty classic. You can find the pattern. I don't know if there's an original pattern, but the one that I found from Kenikse Crochet. She has a tutorial that you can follow on YouTube. I love how the colors play on this one, how it goes from dark brown to lighter brown to yellow to white. The white really ties everything together with the splashes of color throughout, and I think the color choices were just peak. I love the color choices. So I love how this project doesn't really feel old, and I will say I'm not a big fan of granny squares, but this one just works so well. These next two are amigurumi related just because they've personally been on my list for forever now. And the first one is the Bee Gnome by Muffy Corn. This thematically was so cute, and I know gnomes aren't, I think attaching the bees to the gnomes just makes it a really nice decor, especially for anyone who likes bees and gnomes. But just a note, the PDF does only include the pattern for one of the gnomes, the one all the way on the right side, but I think the other gnomes, the colors, they can kind of be figured out just based on that. The bee pot, honey pot? The honey pot isn't included in the pattern, but something that I think can also kind of be free-handed just because it's, you know, circle, goes in, goes back out a little bit. I think the concept was just so cute, and it's so cute, especially with the flowers. This next one is something that I had on my list for a very long time, and once I get back into the mood to play around with very thin yarn for my amigurumis, I will definitely get back into it. But it is the Bee and Honeycomb Amigurumi by Pinky Blue Owl, I think. This concept was just, I can't believe there aren't more of these. I love that. It's so cute. It's so cute. I don't know, I definitely If I ever meet someone who loves bees, I think this would be the perfect gift for them. Just because, what do you mean? You can make the comb, you can make the bees, and you can cover it with the actual hive itself. It is such a good interactive pattern that it is so well thought out. And I think I haven't started the pattern. I kind of took a glance at it. Looks like it will be fine to make, but this one really does it. I'm personally a pretty big fan of slightly more complex projects just because I love the challenge that they give, and this one definitely hits that spot. There's so many elements to it. Definitely probably a little bit of a pain on the sewing end of things, but the end product will just be, it'll be really nice. The next 3 projects are blankets, and the next 2 are bee themed. As you can tell, I just love bees. I will say that this first one by Brianna K Designs, I believe, her beehive pattern, it really spoke to me because it seemed the most obvious without being overly complicated, and I think the design just looks really elegant. I love the beehive in the middle. I love the bees that are kind of swarming around it without being too many bees, although I'm sure you could, add more or less bees however much your heart desires. But I love the simplicity of it and the elegance, and this would be a really good gift too. I think the part that really does it for me on this one is the fact that there is the bee path kind of etched into the blanket, and it makes the pattern kind of make more sense. Because the bees, they're not just there, they had a path that they came from, and I love that. It really pieces the pattern together, and it's something that I definitely have to make in the future. Now, this next one is for those of you who want to try filet crochet, because like me, it's something that you just haven't tried in the past yet. Like I mentioned before, it is also bee themed. It is called the Melissa Honeycomb Filet Blanket by Owl Be Hooked. Excuse me, I have the pattern list over there. This one is just so simple. It's simple and still obvious. Obviously the color choice, it being yellow, it's just on brand, but I don't know how to describe how good it looks. I think you just kind of have to admire how you can use a combination of chains and double crochets to create such a obvious design. I think this blanket could also be really lightweight because it's double crochet, so it has a lot of air flowing through it, so this could actually be a really good throw for your couch in the summer as well. But yeah, I think the bees are really well designed, they're well placed in amongst all the honeycombs. It is something that I definitely have to make in the future. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just getting really excited at the thought of having something like this around my house. This last one, like I said before, it is my favorite one of all these patterns that I have here. It is a granny square pattern. I don't love granny squares because I generally think that they look kind of disjointed, and I just don't love the colors usually, not at least to the way that granny squares are combined, but this one just really spoke out to me. It is the Sunflower Granny Square by Nana's Crafty Home, and it looks, I really had to find better words than describing things as cool and cute, and because that's not really a word, but I think that the way that the flowers are designed here and combined in this blanket, that I believe is also something that she made, the browns just come up so well together because they're variations of brown like you would find on the ground and variations of sunflower combinations. It puts the blanket together really, really well. Maybe it's me looking at it from afar, but the sunflowers just really shine here because there's the yellow ones and the white ones, and they're all kind of put together diagonally, so it really, really makes sense. I'll also say the border is it's so good. Somehow the border is also sunflower-esque. Like, it's not a normal single crochet kind of border, but the browns and the yellows and the greens, they just really, really make this a really special piece, and I can't wait to get started with something like this. I don't know that I'm ready for all the color changes in the granny square. I think I'm definitely gonna be in for a ride, and this is something that would probably take me months to make, amongst all my other projects, of course. But it's so good. I don't know, this is something that I absolutely had to put on my list the first time that I saw it. So clearly the theme here for my summer, at least, is sunflowers, these, and anything yellow. But these are just some of the projects that I love, and I'm not usually one for bright colors, but these were just put together really well. So that's just the kind of projects that I love. But let me know what projects you're working on or what projects are inspiring you. And with that, happy crocheting. Bye!